First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Gainesville neighbors overwhelmingly voted in support of returning control of Gainesville Regional Utilities to the city in November. But a judge says those votes don't count and the legal battle continues. Welcome to First at 5, I'm Alex Lands.
And I'm Nick Diaz. Today we have coverage of several top stories, spreading from the GRU lawsuit referendum to updates on the Terrell Bradley case and our sports team in Texas for the Final Four game. Jada Ross is in Texas to preview the game this weekend. In Gainesville, Jack Meyer is out on 13th Street after Florida gets named one of the deadliest states for jaywalkers. But first, WFT's Madison Ginsberg joins us live in the newsroom. Madison, you spoke with the CEO of Gainesville Regional Utilities just a few hours ago about the GRU decision.
A circuit court judge ruled that a vote made back in November of 2024 is now being considered invalid. Although the referendum did pass with a 73% vote in favor of giving the GRU control back to the city, the judge did conclude that the information on the ballot is coming off as misleading. An argument that is one for the history books.
It's more than just a vote of 73% of the folks saying, well, they want it to be under city control.
Should the authority or the city control Gainesville Regional Utilities? James Colin lives in the city and has an opinion.
I think the city of Gainesville should have access to it.
At one time, GRU was tagged as having the highest utility bills in the state, concerns even reaching state lawmakers. We spoke with Gainesville Mayor Haviv about the matter before the judge ruled.
We said in 2023 that this was going to be a months and years issue, not a days and weeks issue, and I think we are still in that place.
GRU CEO Ed Bolarski believes having the authority gives taxpayers the authority. Bolarski says Gainesville is now in the middle range of residential electricity costs in the state.
The city focuses city interests over 1/3 of our customers that live outside the boundaries of the city.
If a revised referendum is introduced, GRU plans to appeal.
If the city isn't capable of doing their job, then it has to be something else.
The people who turn the wrenches and do the work at the utility will continue to do great work. Who is ultimately in charge? I don't think that's going to be settled for a little while.
Going forward, city leaders are thinking about possibly rewording the ballot referendum. The Gainesville City Commission wants to give people who voted in favor of returning the GRU's authority back to the City Commission the opportunity to do so. Live in the newsroom, Madison Ginsberg, WUFT News.
The man who was mauled by a Gainesville police dog has decided to not settle out of court for damages. Terrell Bradley's trial date has been set. We first brought you this story in 2022 when Bradley was pulled over for a traffic violation. He fled from police. Then K-9 officer Ranger took Bradley's right eye and left him with broken bones. Bradley's lawyer argues that the officers who arrested him used excessive force. Officials with the city of Gainesville agreed to an August 2026 trial.
Yesterday was the first time we reached 90-degree temperatures since last October. Gainesville matched the daily record high for April 2nd. WFT's Gancarz-Davies says that we are expecting a few more days of this summer-like heat and potentially some new record highs ahead.
Yes, these 90-degree temperatures are going to be sticking around for the next couple of days. Currently on our campus cam, we have nice blue skies and not too many clouds. So there's not even a place to hide from the sun if you are going on a walk. We have a bit of wind that could help you keep cool, 9 miles per hour currently. But here's a look at what those records were. Yesterday, 92 degrees, we matched it for 2017. And today we were just short of that record on April 3rd, 2017, hitting 90 instead of that 91 we would have needed to get that. Current temperature is just short of 90 degrees, and we're going to continue to feel that heat cool down as we go into the rest of the evening.
Florida has been ranked as the 4th deadliest state in terms of jaywalking. Here in Gainesville, many initiatives like the Vision Zero program are meant to cut those numbers down. WFT's Jack Meyer is in one of the most dangerous intersections in Gainesville with the stats and ways drivers and pedestrians can stay safe.
I'm here at the intersection of West University Avenue and 13th Street, a crosswalk which has been deemed one of the most high-risk areas in the city of Gainesville. Two major reasons for this: jaywalking and busy commutes.
Sometimes you can be like trying to switch a lane and then you got a jaywalker walking out. I mean, it's very dangerous.
If you're driving by the University of Florida while classes are in session, you might see students waiting to cross the road. But the real danger, such as pedestrian-involved accidents, come from the ones you don't see. UF student Morena Ben-Bassat says this could be caused by students in a hurry.
I think people are just in a rush maybe to get to class or something like that, and they want to get there sooner.
A recent study by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration shows Florida averages 3.47 deaths per 100,000 residents. They trail only behind Louisiana, Arizona, and New Mexico. That number, among other concerns, has gotten the city's attention. The city's Vision Zero initiative is meant to cut these numbers down and keep more drivers, bikers, and pedestrians safe. Students like Ben-Bassat have already seen the changes.
I think with all the speed bumps, it's gotten more safe.
A Vision Zero survey found that 64% of the community is primarily concerned with pedestrian and bike infrastructure. However, drivers like Tanya Brown say it's not enough for just the city to take measures. Pedestrians need to be more mindful as well, she says.
I mean, it look like they really own the streets. You have to really watch out.
Over the last 5 years, right here, there have been more than 175 accidents involving a pedestrian or cyclist, most of which have resulted in somebody being seriously injured or killed. The goal of the Vision Zero plan is to eliminate all traffic-related fatalities and serious injuries in the city by the year 2040. Reporting live in Gainesville, Jack Meyer, WUFT News.
A recent Gainesville restaurant closure has left surrounding businesses shocked. The Keys Bar and Grill permanently closed in Celebration Point after nearly 6 years of business. This comes after the Promenade filed for bankruptcy last year. Celebration Point's layout makes it easy to miss for some non-locals, and some vendors say more events hosted at the Promenade could help attract more visitors.
I would definitely say that it is a little bit worrying because definitely the traffic here has slowed down a bit. Kind of hoping that maybe they do some more events and stuff like that to help out with the traffic around this area.
But while some businesses are shutting down, others are expanding. Through the Keys closure left businesses confused, Erwin Harpold is ultimately hopeful for Celebration Point's future.
Thanks to Marion County citizens, a second fire station will open in Citra next week. Marion County officials implemented a penny sales tax in 2016, which they say made the new station possible. Neighbors are invited to visit MCFR's newest fire station at the grand opening Monday morning at 10 a.m. Florida lottery officials say one Archer man had a stroke of luck today. Leo Raleigh won $640,000 from a scratch-off game. He bought it at the Quick Stop Chevron on Willison Road in Gainesville. The retailer got a $2,000 bonus for selling the winning ticket. Coming up when First at 5 returns, pushback on the president's tariff plan, why lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say the new executive order spells trouble for the American people. And Florida's considering loosening child labor laws, why lawmakers are looking to young people to make up for a recent major shortfall in the state's workforce.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
The Florida House of Representatives is currently debating a bill about how young is too young to work long hours. The bill state lawmakers are advancing would loosen restrictions on teen work hours in the state, and as Ivan Rodriguez reports, the legislation is being considered in an effort to backfill positions left by deported migrants.
For the owners of this classic America soda fountain in Tallahassee, loosening restrictions on child labor makes some sense.
Getting that half-hour break exactly at 4 hours or exactly at the right time so we don't violate is really hard to schedule.
For other business owners, it raises alarms.
We just hope it's not going to lead to kids having to make a tough decision as to whether they need to work or they can do those, things that everybody wants to do when they're kids.
A bill making its way through the Florida legislature would allow 16 and 17-year-olds to work more than 8 hours on a day when school is scheduled the next day and work over 30 hours a week during the school year without mandated meal breaks, and removes overnight work restrictions on 14 and 15-year-olds who are homeschooled, attend virtual school, or have already graduated. Governor Ron DeSantis argues this will help fill positions left by deported migrants.
What's wrong with expecting our young people to be working part-time now? I mean, that's how it used to be when I was growing up.
Do you believe that this bill would have an impact on a child's development?
Absolutely, because we already are seeing high levels of absenteeism.
Sadaf Knight with the Florida Policy Institute says children can already work longer hours through a waiver process involving parents, guardians, or a school superintendent.
Parents are essentially being excluded from the process of the decision making around how long and how much their kids work.
The bill sparking protests from some young Floridians at the state capitol.
Child labor protections are a crucial backstop to prevent corporations from exploiting young people in the state.
In Tallahassee, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Stock prices around the world dropping. Bipartisan reactions to President Trump's tariffs announced earlier this week. President Trump says the tariffs are a declaration of economic independence for the United States. The president announced a 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles effective starting today. The plan imposes steep tariff rates on many countries, including 34% on China and 20% on the European Union. The president signed an executive order imposing his expansive global reciprocal tariff plan. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer spoke out against the Trump administration's tariffs on Canada on the Senate floor today.
Trump's tariffs raise costs and picks people's pockets on one side, and Trump's budget cuts are taking away health care and benefits and veterans care on the other side. If Republicans pass their agenda, 80 million Americans will be at risk of losing coverage.
The Trump administration says that Canada and Mexico will be exempt from the baseline 10% tariff rate, as well as reciprocal levies for specific countries for now.
Storms causing severe weather in Tennessee are making their way to Florida. I'll time out their impacts coming up.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
We can expect another above normal activity hurricane season this year after Colorado State University released their annual forecast. The 2025 Atlantic Basin hurricane season is predicted to have 17 named storms, 3 over the average. Researchers also say there will be 85 storm days and 9 hurricanes, 4 of those being major. They will release an updated forecast on June 11th.
Yeah, Nick, after such a destructive hurricane season for Florida, it's more important than ever to stay updated.
Yeah, Alex, and what better way to do that than by seeing what's really going on right now on our campus today?
Currently, we have been feeling those very hot temperatures here in Gainesville, hitting 90 degrees. On our campus cam currently, it is nice and blue skies as we are looking just a couple clouds, not enough to shade you from that heat. But we do have a good amount of wind that could be helping you stay just a little bit cooler than you might have otherwise been. Taking a look at those records that we have been discussing, yesterday we matched the record from 2017, hitting 92 degrees, while today we were just short of that record, only hitting 90 of the record of 91 in 2017. However, over the next couple of days, we are projecting exceeding those records, hitting 92 versus the 91 record in 74, and matching it again this Saturday. So it's going to be a hot one. You might want to head to the beach or springs for a way to cool off. Looking at our evening, we have those temperatures decreasing from those 90s to those lower 70s or even those upper 60s, and we have a couple more clouds that are coming in that are going to sort of trap that heat. That's part of why we've been continuing to see that heat build up. Throughout the day tomorrow, those upper 60s are making their way back up into those 90s, and again, you can see there's not too much cloud coverage to protect you from that heat in those top hours. This is the system of storms that currently have caused tornado warnings in Tennessee, Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana, and they're on the move. This is the risk of them currently. There's numerous enhanced risk of severe storms. That's tornadoes. We're expecting some baseball-sized hail and high wind gusts. Tomorrow it's staying in a fairly similar area, but it is getting more intense. And then Saturday is when it's going to start to move towards us here in Florida, but it's not really going to affect us until Monday when we'll start to see that rain here in north central Florida. Looking at the weekend, you can see we are free of that rain, just feeling those hot temperatures as we continue to warm up, getting towards those records. Timing out the storms as they make our way towards us late Sunday and in the afternoon on Monday. Monday 2 p.m. is when we're seeing the main impact of those storms, that showers and possible thunderstorms coming towards us. And throughout the evening on Monday, it's going to stay wet into the evening. By Tuesday morning and Tuesday afternoon, those storms are going to be making their way out of our region. So Tuesday should be dry, and we're going to start to feel those cooler impacts from that cold front coming through. You can get excited to feel those mid 70s once again, despite those hot 90s that we have been feeling the past couple of days, and that's due to that rain cool down on Monday and Tuesday.
If the Gators men's basketball team wins this weekend's game, keep your Monday night plans free. The city of Gainesville will host a watch party at Bo Diddley Plaza for the NCAA championship game. The game will be shown on a 16 by 9 foot LED video wall. The event is free to the public, and attendees are encouraged to bring their own chairs and blankets.
As Gainesville cheers on the Gators at the Final Four on Saturday, city leaders are asking fans to celebrate safely and are encouraging residents to be aware of their surroundings and drink responsibly. Make sure to never drink and drive. Instead, designate a sober driver, use a rideshare service, or take public transportation. Leaders want to remind fans only those 21 and older can drink legally.
Coming up in sports, the Final Four hype is in full swing. The Gators have touched down in San Antonio for their 6th Final Four appearance in program history. Our team is in Austin, Texas to preview Saturday's matchup with Auburn at the Alamodome in San Antonio. WUFT's Jada Ross will join us when we return.
Watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to another Thursday of sports. I'm Ethan Eibe. The Gators have landed in San Antonio ahead of Saturday's semifinal matchup with the Auburn Tigers, and so have we. WUFT's Jada Ross joins us now from Texas to bring us up to speed on the weekend to come.
Yes, Ethan, I'm here in Austin at the University of Texas, which is only 2 hours away from San Antonio, which is also where we will be for the remainder of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Make sure to mark your calendars because Saturday, Florida will take on SEC opponent Auburn. Tomorrow, there's going to be a second day of practices and media availability, and we'll get to speak to some players and coaches. We'll make sure to bring you those updates as they come in throughout the day. Also, look out for a preview on the Auburn versus Florida matchup during First at 5's Friday edition of the show. Reporting from the Final Four, Jada Ross, WUFT Sports.
One of the top high school baseball teams in the country resides right here in Gainesville, Florida. The Buchholz Bobcats are off to one of the best starts in school history, and WUFT's Daniel Haviv caught up with Buchholz head coach and athletic director Ron Brooks to talk the Bobcats' undefeated run.
Ethan, Buchholz is on an unprecedented tear to start off the season. The Bobcats are sitting at 20-0 without a single loss this year. They're ranked 3rd in the state of Florida and 10th, yes, 10th in the nation. Head coach Ron Brooks knew he had a special squad coming into the year.
I mean, I thought we were going to play good baseball. You know, I was really excited from what I saw in the fall, you know, the way we approached lifting and those kind of things and the kind of chemistry we were developing. You know, I'm really excited about the kind of way our depth's kind of come along. We had some guys that are new to the program that really gave us a shot in the arm in terms of what they've added to the roster. And then we got a lot of seniors that came back and juniors that are, you know, have been in the fire. So all together, collectively, I thought we were going to play well. 20-0, I mean, you never know what's going to happen in the game of baseball.
The Bobcats face Colquitt County tonight in pursuit of their 21st win of the season. Reporting from Buchholz High School, Daniel Haviv, WUFT Sports.
Taking a look at some of the other matchups tonight in high school baseball, Williston looks to keep its 3-game winning streak going against Branford. Trenton hopes to extend its 5-game winning streak versus Bell. And Union County enters its tilt with Santa Fe, having lost 5 of 6. Gators Gymnastics is seeking to qualify for the national championship meet at Friday's regional competition in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Florida is the number 3 seed this year, and head coach Jenny Rowland is hoping to rely on some of her younger athletes as Florida gets deeper into the postseason.
We have shown that we're not afraid to compete our freshmen. You know, if they show in the gym day in and day out that they're ready, competitiveness, you know, and you know, mentally ready to go, then let's go. And our sophomore class was a well-seasoned class from last year, which, you know, just helps throughout the years. And yes, we know and we understand we're gonna maybe take a little more lump, you know, some more lumps here and there through the regular season, but we feel like in the long run, it's going to pay off.
Florida faces Oregon State, North Carolina State, and either Clemson or Rutgers tomorrow night, with the meet set to begin at 8 p.m. One final note, Gators baseball welcomes in Vanderbilt for a 3-game series this weekend at Condren Ballpark. UF is looking to rebound following a rough start to SEC play. Hopefully there's going to be some decent weather for those attending this weekend, and we'll have one final look at your forecast after the break.
One of the best ways to watch a sports game is with a furry friend by your side.
And if you're still looking for that companion, meet your perfect match in Match Madness, an event held by the Alachua County Animal Services.
Yeah, Alex, all pet adoption fees will be waived to celebrate the Gators making it to the Final Four. The Adoption Center has cats, dogs, or even puppies waiting to be adopted. Come tour the kennels Tuesday through Saturday and find the newest addition to your game day watch party.
Those pictures are so cute. The second I get home, I'm putting my dog in a jersey.
Yeah, it really just makes you want to go out there and adopt a pet right now, Ethan.
Yeah, you got to watch the Final Four with a furry friend as Walter Clayton Jr. is reining in those threes, right, Ben?
Well, I'll leave the sports talk to you, Ethan, but rain I can get behind. And our rainy day this week is going to be mainly on Monday, a little bit of overflow into Tuesday, and those storms are going to leave us with much cooler temperatures than those 90s we've been feeling the past couple of days.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on at WFT.org and on all of our social media platforms. Have a great night.